Well, our next guest got her inspiration for her new book when her daughter asked her why some girls are called princesses and others called tomboys.
Yes, Ode to a Tomboy aims to empower young girls to be, do and like whatever they want to. And author Emma-Jane is here to tell us more. Good morning to you, Emma-Jane.
Good morning to you, yeah.
There we can see on screen. So tell us exactly the conversation that inspired this book.
Yeah, so I suppose I grew up a quintessential tomboy, was basically happiest playing with my He-Men and my dinosaurs, didn't want to wear my communion dress, all that kind of stuff.
But, you want to wear black jeans on your communion day.
That was it, yeah. I actually got as far as the church door and then Mammy made me take them off. So, I know, it's gas, even though I made a fortune that day. There's not a picture of me smiling, but there you go. But I suppose while I was growing up, people would have always said to me then, you know, like if I did want to wear a dress or whatever, say for my wedding or whatever, oh, you can't do that. It never really bothered me. I suppose I was quite, well, I'll do whatever I want to do. But my daughter then, when she was born, Layla, she was quite similar, I suppose, in terms of her style and her attitude. And then I suppose when it came to then a conversation one day, we were in a shop, she'd seen a dress, she liked it, so I was like, grand, I'll buy you the dress. And she was like, no, actually, no. And I was like, what? What's wrong with you? And she was just like, you know, somebody said I can't wear that because I'm a tomboy. You know, and I'm just like, hold on a second, you can wear whatever you want, like. And then there was a similar conversation then as well around a doll one day. So she's never played with dolls. She's always been my old, actually, He-Man and my dinosaurs. But, you know, outside then on the chopper or whatever, and same, she wanted a doll one day. So I was like, yeah, 100%, let's get it. And then she was like, and again, hesitated and backed out of it because somebody had put this idea in her head that if she was this certain tomboy, then she couldn't like this other thing. So I'm like, no, hold on a second, you can like whatever you want, like that's.
But you were the same as this, so she's like you. So did it impact you? Do you think in a negative? So do you think it's a bad thing that people call her a tomboy?
So no, I think look at adjectives and labels are fine. I'd call myself a tomboy. That's grand. But I think so. The difference between herself and myself was it never bothered me. You know, if people said you can't do that, I'd be like, yeah, right, I'm doing it. You know, that kind of way. Yeah. But I think with her though, she's a little bit obviously more sensitive, for want of a better word. And then when it came to her, then she was just like, oh no, like I can't do that. I'm a tomboy. You know, like, or I can't like this because I'm whatever. So I'm just like, no. So they are just literally two labels within that book, a tomboy and a princess. But I suppose kind of the bigger thing is just it's only scratching the surface. But it's more so down to, you know, you might call your child soft or maybe they're whatever. But it's just to kind of just let them know, look, you can do whatever you want.
Why does society like the label then? Why do we like saying you have to be X or Y and you can't be both?
Yeah, so I think, as I said, it's only literally scratching the surface in terms of gender stereotypes. There's a whole bigger issue there around gender neutrality that really needs to be kind of focused on. But I think it's just, isn't it easy for people to kind of go, you fit in that bucket and you fit in that bucket and this is where we all...
I think people don't let you be both.
I mean, you can
play...
But do you think, Emma-Jane, it's a case that the child hears it enough and then they just start to absorb it and they kind of self-condition themselves to believe this, even if we feel we're not forcing it on them.
100%. And this isn't meant to be a parenting lecture by any way, shape, make or form, but it's more so I think we inadvertently put children in buckets, you know, like by kind of just consistently repeating something and then it's like, oh, okay, well, that's what I am, so that's how I'll remain, you know, but it's like, no, it's not. You can like change from a day-to-day basis, you know, like you're not the same person even you were yesterday, you know, you can like whatever you want, and that's ultimately what I'm trying to get across.
And do you think it's because children nowadays, like you said, it didn't bother you? Do you think maybe children are a little bit more sensitive now, that they don't, you know, when they hear that, they don't know how to deal with it?
Yeah, possibly sensitive, and then I think, I can't believe I should go down this route, but social media as well then, like, you know, I think has a lot to do with this, that like it's nearly like this whole labelling effect and people will assume these certain roles, and then I think children can see people assuming a certain role and then go, that's fine, I'll fall into that too, or I'll be like them and I'll follow that, or whatever it is, like, you know, so anyway.
Do you think our generation of kids will look at gender in a whole different way than, say, we have or our parents have?
100%. And I really, really, really hope so. So, like, another conversation that I had with Layla was she came home from school and she'd only started crying one day because somebody told her a girl can't be a ninja. So then she was instantly like, I want to be a boy now. And I'm like, hold on a second. Like, you know, you can do whatever.
This went on when we were in school too, though.
Yeah, but I don't think we can have it anymore.
I think, though, it's changing. And even, like, I have a HR background, so I can see, like, gender balance in the workplace and all that type of stuff coming to the fore. So definitely the next generation, it's going to be different.
Because
for the
things
better.
Like, you know, oh, you throw like a girl. Hang on a second, throwing like a girl could mean the ball goes down, you know, at the end of the pitch. Do you know what I mean? So we do kind of have to change. Even the flippant things that we say, I think, can actually really, you know, be absorbed by those brains.
Yeah, that's it. And like, it's not that children like absorb everything. Like, you know, like, I'm really not trying to push that. Children are just fantastic and brilliant. But I suppose what I'm trying to do with this book is that, you know, if a child has it read to them or they read it themselves, then they can kind of go, all right, okay, grand. You know, like, I can be a certain cliche, but then I can throw that cliche out the window and be whatever I want to be. You know, like, I don't have to fall into a bucket. it.
So what do you mean, Ode to a Tomboy?
So, yeah, so I suppose I call it that book because I start the book with then going through all the cliches. So, you know, it's like, so tomboys wear this type of clothes and, you know, they're not into husbands and marriages and they're not into princesses or whatever it is, like, you know, that kind of way. But then I'm like, but wait. And then I'm like, but I know a messy tomboy who's really not so tough and she helps mama with the chores and helping the kids and stuff. And then, like, you know, it kind of goes into all, like, the other things that she likes. She likes sitting amongst the trees. She likes reading books. She likes whatever. And then the whole end of it is just like, so just be whoever you want to be. You know, that kind of way, like you're you, be unique. Just love and have fun.
Like, it's funny, I have another little book that I read to my daughter as well, and it talks about all different jobs. So what might be perceived as boy jobs and girl jobs, it's about fairies, and they have them doing all sorts of different things. So it's a little bit like that. It kind of teaches them that, yeah, there is no job that is off limits for you.
Yeah. That's exactly what I'm after. And then even before I got word I was coming on here, I just finished a book called Boy, and it's going into the stereotypes, I suppose, with boys. But I definitely kind of gone into the whole job aspect with that. Like, you know, that, like, boys can't do certain things or whatever. And then I suppose I was trying to put a slant on it. But if we're all the same and we all did certain things, it'd be a very boring world to live in. You know, like, so just be whoever you want to be. So.
But do you think sometimes telling children they can be whatever they want to be is not always a good thing, that they need to be taught... Not taught things.
To measure your expectation, children.
Yeah, but just kind of like to be told, like you talk about having to take your trousers off, going to your communion, was it? Do you think that you should have been allowed to do it? Kids can just dress in whatever they want just because they want to wear black trousers. Just let them do it. Because then when
so.
kids,
what's the harm?
but when do kids not have to learn? You know, that, you know, like there are rules or there are ways things are done, or do you just let everybody just...
100%. You learn right from wrong, you learn how to cook, you learn how to grow food, whatever. But I mean, like, they're just societal things, so you're saying that you cannot wear black trousers to your communion because everybody wears a dress, you know, or whatever. Like, but I mean, go back a few hundred years, nobody wore it.
My sister was the exact same. I remember she wanted to wear her tracksuit bottoms to her communion and she had to wear a dress, and it was off the second it was over. And yeah, it's interesting how it is all changing.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say, because do traditional fairy tales frustrate you then? You know, say where Cinderella is rescued by the handsome prince or Sleeping Beauty is woken up by a kiss. Do you think those fairy tales have had their day and we need to be looking to newer, more contemporary ways of actually informing our kids through the bedtime story?
Yeah, but I mean, like, look what Disney did with Shrek, like, you know, that kind of way. It just took the fairy tale and threw it all in its head, like, you know, like, they have totally different genders and characters coming in to save the day and the whole lot. So, but I mean, there is definitely something around the old fairy tales. They're lovely, they're traditional and the whole lot, but I would always finish a story like that and go, but what if? You know, like, and then get, like, the child that I'm reading to, it's the same if I'm reading Johnny Magory stories. I'll say to them, but what if? You know, like, and then get them thinking and get them coming up with their own aspect and their own take on it, and, you know, what would they do type of thing. So
yeah, my daughter, she loves the Johnny Magory as well, so you're
really
very talented.
Thanks
very much.
Emma-Jane.
Cheers for joining us again.
Now we are going to go inside to talk to Alan. Alan, what's coming up after 9?
Thanks, Karen. Yes, well, Oscar-winning director Jim Sheridan tells us about his new documentary. We get advice on rekindling a romance as Ben Affleck and J-Lo reunite after 20 years. Plus, great gadgets to get your dad this Father's Day. We're going to be back after the break.